Hey there and welcome back to our channel. Well, you are probably here because you are tired of being in a relationship that is probably not working anymore. Maybe it's a relationship with your friends, family, or even your significant other. And I know exactly how it feels to be in a dysfunctional relationship. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare that you can't escape from. But I'm here to tell you that it's possible to get out of that relationship and be happy again. In this video, I'm going to break down the steps for you so that you can finally be free. Any true relationship between friends or significant others should be one between equals. You give and take equally. One person's needs aren't met over another's. Friends and partners are supposed to give you energy, lift you up when you're down, and want the best for you. But sometimes we get into relationships that drain energy from us. These are dysfunctional relationships and they can negatively affect all aspects of your lives. So here's what you can do to spare yourself from that toxic relationship. 1. Diagnose the relationship. How do you know if a friend or partner is bringing you down? Well, in much the same way that you know that you're coming down with a cold, a dysfunctional relationship comes with symptoms. When you're around this person, how do you feel? Here are a few other questions you should ask yourself if you're thinking you might be in a dysfunctional relationship. Does my friend put me down all the time? Are they jealous when I spend time with others? Do they constantly bring up parts of me that they want to change? Do they take more than they give? Am I only doing the things that they want to do? Dysfunctional relationships are often difficult to spot, but they have several signs. These include communication breakdowns, lack of trust and open dialogue, recurring arguments, manipulation or control by one person, and feelings of resentment and unhappiness. In a dysfunctional relationship, both people may feel disconnected or even alone in the relationship. Negativity might start to drift into other aspects of life such as work performance and personal well-being. This can be a sign that the emotional balance between two individuals is awkward and steps need to be taken to re-establish healthy boundaries and communication. If left unchecked, a dysfunctional relationship can cause long-term psychological issues for everyone involved. 2. Allow yourself to feel. Typically, it is difficult to let go of anything. Even if the connection was not serving your best benefit, it can still be difficult to part ways with someone you care about. Respect the possibility that you are experiencing sentiments of grief, and don't try to stifle those sensations, rather, give yourself permission to feel them fully. Recognize that experiencing sadness is a natural reaction to the event, and give yourself the time you need to recover. 3. Discover the lesson. When people finally decide to end a dysfunctional relationship, they frequently experience feelings of remorse and shame because they believe the time they invested in the relationship was wasted. Nevertheless, every new person in our life has the potential to teach us in some way. Try to learn something from the experience of your relationship rather than viewing it as a time that has been wasted. What kind of advice did this individual provide you? What do you get out of the connection that you didn't expect? In what ways have you grown as a person? And how may you approach similar situations differently the next time around? Breaking up a dysfunctional relationship can be a hard but important step to take in order to move forward on the path of personal growth. While it may be upsetting and full of pain, there is often a great lesson hidden beneath it after all. Moreover, even if things didn't work out with that particular person, one can use this experience to develop better relationships in the future together with developing more understanding for themselves and others. Breaking up a dysfunctional relationship carries its own anguish, but looking at it from the perspective of growth presents an opportunity for positive change and self-development. The same lessons may have to be learned over and over again in order to fully internalize them. If you look for the lesson to be learned from this relationship, you will make it less likely that you will repeat the same lesson in the next relationship you have. 4. Distance yourself. If you find yourself in a dysfunctional relationship with another person, it can be beneficial to distance yourself from them. This isn't to say that the relationship did not have any good parts or was completely negative, but instead, it is recognizing when those patterns are unhealthy and need to shift. It can be extremely difficult to distance yourself from someone when feelings of attachment, loyalty, fear of loneliness, or even guilt come into play. However, your own well-being must take precedence. Making sure that your relationships bring you joy and satisfaction is essential in life. Sometimes this requires distancing relationships that make us feel weighed down. Taking this step may leave you feeling uneasy at first, but an improved quality of life full of healthy relationships will soon follow. And it is not much to say that it is a requirement if you truly want to set yourself free from that relationship. 5. Let go of the memories. It may be quite challenging to let go of the memories of people with whom we have unhealthy connections, particularly if we have a significant amount of history and experiences in common with those people. Our self-confidence and sense of worth might suffer when we are involved in unhealthy relationships, which can have a negative impact on our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It may be challenging to visualize a future in which we no longer link ourselves with such individuals, but doing so is essential if we are going to make room in our lives for more positive relationships, interactions, and connections with other people. It's possible that we may still acknowledge that the person or individuals in question formerly have some admirable qualities and characteristics. But we also need to put our attention on our own personal development away from these potentially damaging circumstances. This may be unsettling, but it also opens the door to brand new opportunities and makes further development possible. 6. Focus on empowering yourself. Your first course of action after quitting a dysfunctional relationship should be to put emphasis on empowering yourself and letting go of any bad residue that may have been left over from the experience. Anyone who wants to go on with their lives has to make sure they give themselves enough time to recover and mend. If you make it a practice to surround yourself with things that restore you, such as yoga, writing, or even pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, this may give an avenue for post-breakup thinking, as well as fresh insights on life. If we make an effort to care for ourselves and become more secure in our sense of who we are, we may regain some of the power that we may have surrendered to another person throughout the course of the relationship. Now that we have recovered control, we are in a position to chart a new road forward by seeking assistance from friends and family, devoting ourselves to activities that bring us joy, and maintaining a good attitude along the way. 7. Practice forgiveness. It may be challenging to go on with your life after a relationship that was unhealthy, but it is essential to bear in mind the significance of being able to forgive. Keeping a grudge and being unable to let the past go, even if it was not our fault, can only damage us in the long run and prevent us from moving on. To be able to forgive someone, you must first be able to take a step back and acknowledge the fact that everyone makes errors, regardless of whether or not those actions caused you to go through challenging circumstances. Forgiving people who have mistreated us is not a simple task, but doing so allows us to release ourselves from the anguish and bitterness that may have been inflicted by those who harmed us. Forgiveness is always worth it in the long run, despite the fact that there are moments when it may seem hard to do so. 8. Ask for help. After a breakup, the initial few moments, days, or weeks might feel like they have rendered you helpless. Some people feel like they lose their identity, support system, and sense of normalcy when they leave a relationship. It may be tremendously difficult and emotionally draining to end a relationship, even if the relationship was unhealthy. You do not, however, have to go through this process by yourself. Learn how to recognize when you need help and when to go get it. Getting out of a dysfunctional relationship may seem like an impossible task at first, but with patience, perseverance, and determination it is possible to achieve freedom from toxicity and create a better future for yourself. Do you have any other ideas on how to be released and attain freedom from a dysfunctional relationship? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, this is the perfect time to do so. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.